So I'm doing my project on what does it mean to be independent, and everyone wants to have their independence. It's something that a lot of people crave and find later in life, and that's through things like getting a job, moving up to college, or even just growing up in general. And to me, independence is being able to help and support yourself without the help of others, like friends, family, or even professionals, more than just being able to get up out of bed every morning. And this like realization came to me a few years ago through an incident that happened, and it didn't really have much of an effect on me at the time, but looking back and talking to my dad about it, I was able to realize how important that situation was to me. So this incident that happened was that I had actually witnessed a fight between my parents, and my parents never really fought at all while they were together, and this was the only real time that they had fought. And it wasn't a like physical fight. They weren't hitting each other or anything, but they were yelling at each other, and I just so happened to walk in on them yelling at each other. And like at the time of me walking in and them realizing that I was there, they stopped arguing and they just walked away from each other. And at the time, I didn't really think anything of it. I mean, I didn't see them fight before, and I just thought it wasn't anything. But then a little bit later, like about 6 months or to a year later, they actually had gotten divorced. And what I remember from that situation was like the emotions that were like in play there, because me and my brother and my mom were all very emotional, and same with my dad, who isn't a emotional person at heart. He was even emotional during that time. And when it happened, I didn't really know what the divorce meant, but I knew that it just wasn't anything good, and that our family like wouldn't be together anymore. And this sticks out more than a lot of other things that happened when I was younger. And this is mainly a part because of like how traumatizing it was to me, both the fight and the divorce. And I looked up to them both as a child, so to see them fight with each other wasn't very good, and it was pretty unsettling to me. And like at the time, I didn't really need to be independent at all. Like after their divorce, there was no reason for me to be independent because I was so young that I could just rely on them to help me get through things. But now, like after talking to my dad and my parents in general about the whole situation, I've realized how important independence is. And recently, I've started to do a lot more on my own to try to gain this. Whether that was cooking for my like cooking on my own, or playing music by myself, or shooting and going out and shooting photography. All those things helped me become more independent, and like also helped me become more creative in how I spend my time and what I do. And like now being 18, I'm entering adulthood, and I've almost in my eyes a fully independent person, but I'm still learning. So it's nice to have my parents there to help me through these times, even if I am becoming a fully independent person. And I know that like becoming independent is a part of life, and everyone goes through it. At my like age, I feel like I'm very independent, and I feel like that's partly in due to like the divorce that my parents went through in this situation that I'm in right now, and not really having to rely on my parents as much anymore. Independence is something that like a lot of people strive to have, and a lot of people want to have at any given point in their life. And for me, I also see independence as having freedom. Being an independent is a lot more than just doing activities on your own and living on your own. It can set you apart from the rest of society, and it allows you to like do things that many people might not ever have the chance to do if they aren't independent at some point or another in their life.